Greetings all. Well, admit I was feeling a little bit smug about the weather here compared to the weather on the rest of the planet, but yeah, it's finally struck home. Yeah, the climate change, global warming, or whatever you want to call it, has finally hit Hawaii too. Maui is burning. The town of Lahaina appears to have perhaps burned down. Pictures I saw showed the fires sweeping through the old downtown district. That's a historic area. It was the seat of original Hawaiian royal government, and so a lot of history there, a lot of buildings that are going to be lost. It was a popular tourist destination. Most of us have heard the name of Lahaina. Yeah, well, it looks like it's probably gone. They can't completely assess because there's too much fire, too much smoke, and just too much chaos. But what I saw this morning looks like the town itself may be a total disaster. They have, I think it was about 1,200 people that they had sheltered at the Ka'alui airport in Maui. Yeah, the airport's being used as an emergency shelter for people escaping the fires. We have fires here too on the Big Island. Yeah, it's burning here. It's not exactly in an area where we're too worried about things. It's there on the western side of the Big Island, Kahala. That's well, it's kind of open country. The military range is over there. I'm not exactly sure of the precise location that's burning, but I do know that there aren't any residents in danger over there. A bunch of grass and brush on fire. Same situation. It was Dora. Well, Dora and a combination of the fact that we've been in drought here. Yes, Hawaii has had moderate drought. It's not extreme. It wasn't across every part of every island. But we did have droughted locations on most of the islands in the leeward areas. That's the areas away from the trade winds. There hadn't been much water over there, and so things were quite dry. And then Dora came by as a hurricane, around 400 miles or so to the south, 300 and some miles south of the Big Island. It's passing Kauai now. Well, it caused wind. That wasn't a lot of wind, all right, not hurricane force, but plenty enough wind that when a spark fell, boy, them fires got started and it just blew. I don't know where the spark came from. They'll be wondering for a long time exactly what got that started. But yeah, so Dora's passing by. Things will resume normal over here probably in the next couple of days. Here in Puna, it's raining. Yeah. Lahaina's burning to the ground. They wish they had our rain, but it's raining. This is, again, I'm feeling very lucky to be sitting in a spot on the earth this morning, in a spot in Hawaii where it is raining today. Puna does that. We get a lot of rain. I know over the years, when I tell people where I live or when people come to visit or so on, my sister-in-law, when she was coming to visit us for the first time, she kept looking at the weather forecast for Hilo, and she says, there's rain every day. There's rain. Does it ever stop raining over there? Oh, the rain started again. Yeah, well, yeah, it does. And in fact, she discovered that the weather over here was actually quite pleasant. But looking at it in her weather projections, yeah, it looks like it just rains nonstop. That's because it usually rains a little every day here if the weather is normal. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's going to rain all day long or anything, but we might get a half-hour downpour in the middle of the afternoon. We're getting a bit of a downpour this morning. I think this will last a while too. But yeah, You know, all the tourists, they want to be on the Kona side and get a sunburn. You know, I got no use for melanomas myself, or SPF 30 sunscreen and so on. I much prefer using the clouds in my hat, you know, and wearing a shirt. But yeah, if you're planning to grow food, places that are historically known for being wonderfly sunny and beautiful for vacations, they're going to be a lousy place to live if you plan to feed yourself. Yeah, as the weather gets stranger on planet Earth, I fear that in most cases, drier places will get drier. I don't think wetter places are going to get wetter, but I don't know that. Puna hasn't gotten any wetter. It really hasn't gotten much drier either. It's become erratic. As I keep saying this to people about this climate change thing, erratic. Yes, you know, I have folks hoping, oh, the tropical weather is going to move north and we're going to raise citrus in Seattle. You know, well, that might happen. If it does, oh man, I hate to think what's going on in California if that happens. But no, I think that what we're going to see is swinging weather. Yeah, one winter you're going to think you can you can raise bananas in Tennessee, and then the next winter you'll be lucky if the blueberries survive. Yeah, this swinging back and forth, crazy undulations in the weather. That's the main reason I say that we're going to be facing food shortages. Yeah, this oh, I have people telling me, oh, no, the amount of food we're raising is going up every year. Well, so is the population. Duh. And it's not really keeping pace either. But, you know, all of that is really very much based on what was, not what probably will be. Yeah, so what was doesn't really count anymore because things are undergoing some pretty significant changes, I fear. And so what you remember won't be able to be used to evaluate where you're heading. You're going to need to look at some data or just face it head on when it smacks you right in the face. It's what's happening to a lot of folks. As a nation, at least enough of us have been in denial over the fact that we need to concern ourselves with weather. Weather is food. Weather is food. Yeah, and when weather is goofy, food supplies become scarce. I mean, it really sunk home when I saw images of a peach farmer in Georgia. Now, Georgia peaches, man, they're like, you know, it's legendary, all right? It's synonymous with the state of Georgia. But he had one row of peaches in the field that were full of fruit. All the other trees in his field were empty. They were barren. Why? It didn't get cold enough last winter where he lived in Georgia to chill down most of his peach varieties. He only had one low-chill peach variety that would still perform on his farm. It's all kinds of things. And we're not just talking about hailstorms shredding lettuce, you know, and drought ruining the corn and, you know, fires sweeping through and all this stuff, floods. Just subtle things like that. The temperature didn't drop quite cold enough in the winter. But what happens? No food. Yeah, it's pretty critical. Pretty critical. And it's finally hit here too. Yes, paradise is suffering with a hell of a problem this morning. Hang loose, folks. Aloha.